Should be a pretty exciting matchup. Tonight we have 4 matches, and if we need to go into the ace round, where we have the ace match to determine who wins this week, we will certainly have that. And let me get us into the game. Our first matchup, we have Xymos, who is playing for AMD, and he's going to be the... Actually, he's not the Zerg. He's going to be the Protoss blue player, starting up top. And we have QuantumRic, who's going to be the red Zerg player, starting at the bottom of the map. And then, as you can tell in the middle here, we have the nice Zelnaga watchtower, which should give them pretty good view in the middle, obviously, once they hit that. This map is certainly a big map, a bigger map, so it's kind of a disadvantage for the Zerg Overlord there. He's got to stretch all the way across the map to get a little bit of scouting information, but shouldn't be too big of a deal since usually most people follow up with a Zerg drone, so which is what he's doing, so it's not too big of a deal. But also, this is Antigua shipyard, so there's so many places that you can put an expo. You could even hide your second expo to make it look like you're going for a one base all in, but you're not, and secretly mining in one of the given locations. So looks like Xymos is going to be starting off with his forge first, which is it's interesting for Protoss when they're playing Zerg, because in my opinion I think Zerg builds a little faster than Protoss and can certainly build Zerglings faster. And what this allows him to do is he's going to be able to build a wall, and should be building photon cannons there with one. So he's going to build a photon cannon, and that's pretty much going to make it to where those Zergs aren't going to just come in and wreck them early game. So it's kind of standard, but I don't know. I guess it could go either way for that. And obviously Zerg, he's got to get his second expansion down as soon as he can, and that's kind of a standard play for Zerg. He's going to skip his gas, go straight for that second expansion, and he'll be able to pump out minerals a lot faster, get them Zerglings out, maybe do some harassment. We'll see what's going to happen. And if I was the Protoss player, I really would think about hiding my expo over in a different corner. I think that would be a good play because the map's so big, and it might look like that you're trying to one base all in them. And it looks like QuantumRic's gonna bring some Zerglings up to the top here. Maybe do a little harassment, which, I mean, it's gonna fail unless he gets a couple more Zergs because of the photon cannon. But we'll see what happens. And it looks like we are going for a 3 gateway with a cybernetics core. Gonna get those into a warp gate, so we'll have 4 gateways total. And he's going to have his pylon set up here, which is nice placement for this third expo that he's already getting. QuantumRic going for the early third expo before he can really pump out any of his Zerglings, not really build much of an army. Getting his third expo up early, which is a good idea. And really, I think, in my opinion, it particularly works on these bigger maps. Zerg, I believe, can safely go for third expo, which is exactly what he did. So I think that's a really great play by Quantum. This is going to allow him to get resources much faster, and obviously it's going to allow him to get units a lot faster. And this, you know, I'm hoping that this pylon here was set because he knew that the third base here is here. So I'm hoping that he did that on purpose, which is possible because he's setting up another pylon right beside it. But 3 early expos could be danger for Xymos. And it looks like he's going to place another pylon there. We got some metabolic boost for the Zerg units. It's going to allow them to run faster. 10 Zergs pumping out. We got our first attack upgrade going for the Protoss player for Xymos. And it looks like Quantum is going to start building roaches as well. Looks like Xymos now already pulling in his stalkers. He's got 1 zealot, 1 sentry, and he's going to start attacking this third base, which is a great idea. He's got to get this third base out as soon as possible. He cannot allow Zerg to keep mining on this base. And it looks like QuantumRic's going to reply. We got some force fields going down to try to block off those Zerglings, but he wasn't able to do a successful force field, and it's going to just dominate those stalkers, which is good play. So it looks like QuantumRic's going to end up saving this third expo, and it looks like he's going to counter by producing more Zergs, more roaches. But QuantumRic obviously doesn't know that there's pylons here to where Xymos can warp in at, but he's going to go ahead and counterattack. Looks like he's going to get these stalkers taken care of and that 1 little zealot. But this is where his problem's going to occur, is that 1 pesky photon cannon sitting right there. Alright, here Xymos comes with a bunch of sentries, zealots, and stalkers. He's going to be able to clean this up real quick. Not too much damage to him. And it looks like instead of going to his natural expansion, he's going to come down here to the gold minerals, which is pretty decent expansion. And that's the problem with this middle Xel'Naga tower. He's QuantumRic's obviously going to be able to spot that he's got the gold minerals. Obviously, he can't let him have that, so he's going to probably attack this pretty quick, unless Xymos can get over here and defend it. So hopefully he can keep this defended. And the problem with those pesky Zergs is they're faster than any Protoss unit. So it looks like we have the +1 missile attacks going for Zerg. So they're both, one's going to be out of +1 attack damage, and the other one's going to be +1 missile attacks for those roaches, which is a good idea. Roaches do a good work, I think, on zealots and on stalkers. So if we had a roach Zergling composition, he should be able to clean up these Protoss fairly quickly, I think. I'm still a little nervous about this 3 expansion, but it looks like he's not really mining so much from his 3rd expansion, so it's not really that big of a deal. However, he does have a ton of roaches, and Xymos should really kind of be a little worried about this. Just now going his double gas on his second expansion. So QuantumRic really needs to go for that gold mineral, and he needs to really knock off Xymos. Because if he doesn't knock him off, it doesn't matter if QuantumRic has 3 bases. Just this second base alone on that gold is like having another base. In my opinion, of course. So right now it looks like we're at just kind of a standstill. Kind of both just building up forces for a one gigantic ultimate attack, which is always fun. And it looks like we're going to go +2 on the missile attacks for those roaches, which is a great idea. I think he'll be able to do mass destruction with these. And he's going to send in a little observer. He's going to measure up the size of his army. Xymos is going to see what he's up against and quickly know that he's outnumbered. Looks like we got a robotics bay coming up. Looks like we got a robotics facility coming up for Xymos. So we're going to have dual robotics facilities with probably Colossus coming out of both of them. And if he can get those Colossus out on time, it's going to make easy work of those Zerglings, I think. If he can control them properly. Obviously, you don't want to put them out in the front line. That'd be bad news bears for Xymos. So let's see how he'll be able to micro those. Oh yeah, QuantumRic definitely knows at this point he should be able to take in his units. Be able to clean up those units in the middle. And it looks like there's the all select. Xymos, QuantumRic's just going to bring him right up to the ramp. Going to be heavy destruction here. Force field's going down, but it's not enough to completely stop this attack. Looks like Xymos is going to try to protect this second base the best he can. He's got Colossus is coming up here. And look at this. Two-prong attack coming from both sides. And it looks like QuantumRic is going to be able to take care of this pretty easy. And there's the GG. Xymos already left. He knew he couldn't take care of it. So there is game 1, which goes to